Are you Ansel?
Ah! Sweet mother of Parth. You can't just run up on someone like that. Are you the human Athenril told me about? The one looking for work?
Did you think I was going to attack you?
Oh, no. All right. Hope not. Anyhow, my apologies, human. I haven't been on the surface very long. I keep thinking I'll fall up into that sky any minute.
Bartrand used to be like that. Got jumpy every time he stepped outside.
I'd pay to see that.
But I digress. I need some help. Rather badly, in fact. Some product of mine has been misplaced. The men who were supposed to deliver it decided not to. If you retrieve my property, I could reward you handsomely.
Just what did these men steal?
Did I say steal? I don't know if I would go that far. They seemed like perfectly reasonable smugglers. They smiled and everything. The goods are valuable, however, and illegal. And my client wants them very, very badly. You know how these Templars can be.
You're smuggling lyrium to the Templars?
Of course he is. That's just bloody great.
Shh! By the Paragons, not so loudly! My word. I'm not cut out for this. I should have taken that job sweeping stables like Mother insisted.
I'll get it back for you.
Must we?
Oh, thank goodness. The gentlemen conduct their business at night in a little hovel within the alienage. If you have to kill them, then I guess it can't be avoided. But I'm sure they'll be reasonable.
That's not the elf. Who is that?
It doesn't matter. We were told to kill whoever enters the house.
I don't know who you are, friend, but you made a serious mistake coming here. Lieutenant, I want everyone in the clearing, now!
Captain!
Your men are dead, and your trap has failed. I suggest running back to your master while you can.
You're going nowhere, slave.
I am not a slave. I apologize. When I asked Anso to provide a distraction for the hunters, I had no idea they'd be so numerous.
You were responsible for this.
I'm the reason you're here, yes. My name is Fenris. These men were Imperial bounty hunters, seeking to recover a Magister's lost property, namely myself. They were trying to lure me into the open. Crude as their methods were, I could not face them alone. Thankfully, Anso chose wisely.
Everything Anso said was a lie, then?
Not everything. Your employer was simply not who you believed.
If you couldn't fight them, why not just run?
There comes a time when you must stop running, when you turn and face the tiger.
That seems like a lot of effort to find one slave.
It is.
Does this have something to do with those markings?
Yes. I imagine I must look strange to you. I did not receive these markings by choice. Even so, they have served me well. Without them, I would still be a slave.
If they were really trying to recapture you, then I'm happy I helped.
I have met few in my travels who have sought anything more than personal gain. If I may ask, what was in the chest? The one they kept in the house?
It was empty.
I suppose it was too much to hope for. Even so, I had to know.
You were expecting something else?
I was, but I shouldn't have. It was bait, nothing more.
You didn't need to lie to get my help.
That remains to be seen. It's as I thought. My former master accompanied them to the city. I know you have questions, but I must confront him before he flees. I will need your help.
You lured me into a trap, and now you want my help?
If Anso had told you to divert an ambush of Tevinter bounty hunters, would you have done it?
Good point.
Had I known of you earlier, I might have asked you personally. I had only Anso to rely on, I fear. I'm not lying to you now. Please, help me do this.
It sounds like you intend to do more than just talk.
Denarius wants to strip the flesh from my bones, and has sent so many hunters that I've lost count. And before that, he kept me on a leash like a Qunari mage, a personal pet to mock Qunari custom. So, yes, I intend to do more than just talk.
If it means fighting more slavers, I'll help you.
I will find a way to repay you. I swear it. The Magister is staying at a mansion in Hightown. Meet me there as soon as you can. We must enter before morning. No one has left the mansion, but I've heard nothing within. Denarius may know we're here. I wouldn't put it past him.
I could stand to know a little more about this Denarius.
He is a Magister of the Tevinter Imperium.
Oh, is that all? Nothing to worry about then.
There, he is a wealthy mage with great influence. Here, he is but a man who sweats like any other when death comes for him.
He may have prepared some magical defenses.
They will not keep me from him. Gone. I had hoped... No, it doesn't matter any longer. I assume Denarius left valuables behind. Take them if you wish. I need some air. It never ends. I escaped a land of dark magic, only to have it hunt me at every turn. It is a plague burned into my flesh and my soul. And now I find myself in the company of yet another mage. I saw you casting spells inside. I should have realized sooner what you really were. Tell me then, what manner of mage are you? What is it that you seek?
I'm just trying to get by.
Yet I have seen many crimes done in the name of survival.
If you have a problem with my sister, you have a problem with me.
I imagine I appear ungrateful. If so, I apologize, for nothing could be further from the truth. I did not find Denarius, but I still owe you a debt. Here is all the coin I have, as Anso promised. Should you find yourself in need of assistance, I would gladly render it.
You didn't seem all that thrilled with me a moment ago.
You are not Denarius. Whether you are anything like him remains to be seen.
You said Denarius is a Magister, but little else.
In Tevinter, the Magisters hold all the power. Over the Chantry, over the Imperial Court, over life itself. It is nothing for one to own a slave. Denarius had many, but none he valued so much as me.
Then how did you get away?
Is it not enough that I did? I carved my path to freedom in blood. I left that life behind, yet his bounty hunters follow me no matter where I go. I will run no longer.
Your old master must want something more than just a runaway slave.
He doesn't want me at all, just the markings on my skin. They are lyrium, burned into my flesh to provide the power that Denarius required of his pet. And now, he wishes his precious investment returned, even if he must rip it from my corpse.
Seems like a waste of a perfectly handsome elf.
The truth is, I know nothing of the ritual that placed these markings on me. It was Denarius's choice, one he now regrets.
I've seen some of your abilities. Do they come from those markings?
Some. All I know is that even in the Imperium, warriors such as myself are rare. Perhaps they believe I should feel honored.
Do you think your master will keep chasing you?
He is too proud not to. Perhaps one day the hunt will cost him more than he is willing to pay, but I doubt that matters any longer.
I'm planning an expedition I might need help with.
Fair enough. Should you ever have need of me, I will be here. If Denarius wishes his mansion back, he is free to return and claim it. Beyond that, I am at your disposal.
I saw Carl go inside a few minutes ago.
No Templars so far. Are you ready?
I didn't see anyone suspicious out here. Let's do this fast.
All right. I'll handle the talking. You watch for Templars.
Anders, I know you too well. I knew you would never give up.
What's wrong? Why are you talking like...
I was too rebellious, like you. The Templars knew I had to be... made an example of.
No!
How else will mages ever master themselves? You'll understand, Anders. As soon as the Templars teach you to control yourself. This is the Apostate.
No!
You will never take another mage as you took him.
Anders, what did you do? It's like... you brought a piece of the Fade into this world. I had already forgotten what that feels like.
I thought the Tranquil were cut off from the Fade forever.
When you're tranquil, you never think on your life before. But it's like the Fade itself is inside Anders, burning like a sun. Please, kill me before I forget again. I don't know how you brought it back, but it's fading.
Carl, no!
Maybe we can find a cure.
Can you cure a beheading? The dreams of tranquil mages are severed. There is nothing left of them to fix.
I would rather die a mage than live as a Templar puppet.
I would rather die than be tranquil. Help him.
I got here too late. I'm sorry, Carl. I'm so sorry.
Now! It's fading! Why do you look at me like that?
Goodbye. We should leave before more Templars come.
That wasn't normal magic you just did, was it?
This is hard to explain. When I was in Amaranthine, I met a spirit of justice who was trapped outside the Fade. We became friends, and he recognized the injustice that mages in Thedas face every day.
And that's different than a demon.
Just as demons prey on the deadly sins of mankind, there are good spirits who embody our virtues. Spirits of compassion, fortitude, justice. They are the Maker's first children, and they have all but given up on us.
What does this have to do with your eyes glowing?
To live outside the Fade, he needed a host. I offered to help him. We were going to work together, bring justice to every child ever ripped away from his mother to be sent to the Circle. But I guess I had too much anger. Once he was inside me, he changed.
So, you have this spirit of justice living in your head?
It's not like that. He's gone now. He's part of me. It's not like we can have a conversation. I feel his thoughts as my own. Not even the greatest scholar could tell you where I end and he begins.
This is obviously difficult for you.
For him? We'll be hunted for sure now.
I thought I was helping my friend. He would have died, I guess. If that even means anything. And he wanted to help me. He knew what mages have suffered.
Of course. No harm ever comes from good intentions, even when magic is involved.
Normally, I would argue that. I wanted to do well by justice, I really did. But my anger, when I see Templars now, things that have always outraged me, but I could never do anything about, he comes out. And he is no longer my friend, Justice. He is a force of vengeance, and he has no grasp of mercy.
Can justice ever be separated from you?
I don't think so. The only way a spirit has ever been separated from a living host is by its death. The curse is of my own making. All I can do now is hope to control it.
Can you bring him out at will?
No. He comes only when I've lost all power over myself. It's a madness, a frenzy. I only find out after what I might have done.
Is there anything I can do for you?
You're the first one I've ever told this. Thank you for not running away. My maps are yours, as am I if you wish me to join your expedition. I thought I was done with the Grey Wardens. But if you have any need of me, I will be waiting here. I had a friend like you once. Got in all kinds of trouble. Dragged me along. Didn't think I'd be doing that again. I got a bit weighty the last time we talked. Sorry for putting that on you.
You can tell me anything.
Anything? Be careful what you offer. I hope I didn't seem too selfish when I told you about Justice. I didn't know what would happen. I figured a willing host, a friend. It had to be better than playing the demon and haunting some corpse.
We can't always predict the outcome of our actions. We can only make them with a true heart.
Kind, wise, and beautiful. You must have made a deal with some demons yourself. I'm sorry, I shouldn't presume. We've hardly met and I feel like I know you. Am I making you uncomfortable?
Doesn't mean I want you to stop.
I'll keep that in mind. I warn you though, I'm not a safe man to get involved with. I'll hurt you.
Why would you hurt me?
You saw what I did in the Chantry. That's who I am. A year ago, maybe we could have had something. But I'm not that man anymore. I'll break your heart. And that might kill me as surely as the Templars.
Egregio Pavali. There are 6 bottles in the cellar. Denarius used to have me pour it for his guests. My appearance intimidated them, he said, which he enjoyed.
You were his servant as well as his bodyguard.
I was his slave. I propped up the furniture when he was so inclined. It's good I can still take pleasure in the small things.
You could have offered me a glass first, you know.
There's more, if you're really interested.
Perish the thought. How else would you redecorate the walls?
I've wanted to leave my past behind me, but it won't stay there. Tell me, have you never wanted to return to Ferelden?
I've started a life here.
And that's it? You leave it behind so easily?
We fled the Blight and did what we could. Would you have done differently?
No, that is in fact exactly what I have done. I apologize. Your life is your own. It simply sounds very familiar.
Do you intend to keep living here?
I haven't decided. For now, it's as good as any other place. I would return to Saharan if I could, but there is no life for me there.
Is that where you're from?
So I've been told.
Were you very young when you left then?
Perhaps.
You could track your former master down, I assume.
I imagine he has returned to Minrathous, though I dare not go near the city while he is alive. No, it is better to wait for him to leave his fortress, fight from a fortified position. I do not expect your help when that day comes, but I would not turn it aside.
You've been on the run a long time then.
3 years now. Denarius has a way of finding me. Perhaps it is the markings. Whatever the means, it never takes him long to follow. This is the first time I've given him reason to pause. I suppose there are advantages in numbers.
Haven't you sought help before?
Hirelings, when I could steal the coin. Never anyone of substance. Until you. Denarius will not give up, however. I await his return.
What if he does give up? What then?
Then I go to him. I will not live with a wolf at my back.
You won't let sleeping dogs lie?
No. I am no fool.
If you're looking to start a life, you could stay.
We shall see. I should thank you again for helping me against the hunters. Had I known Ansel would find me a woman so capable, I might have asked him to look sooner.
Maybe I should be thanking Answer.
Maybe you should. Perhaps I'll practice my flattery for your next visit. With any luck, I'll become better at it. I've heard about the Circle of Magi outside of the Imperium, but I've never been in one. Are you certain it's wise for you to be here?
Oh, I'm sure nobody will notice little old me, don't you worry.
Very reassuring. This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle I know.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any signs of corruption or weakness. Then it changed. The Magisters were permitted to watch over their own, and Templars kept only to enforce the law. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters rule again, as powerful as they ever were.
You said the Chantry used to watch the Magisters. Why did they stop?
You must remember that the attitude towards magic is different in Tevinter. Magisters came from wealthy families, bloodlines that had nurtured magical talent for countless generations. The Chantry was not trying to control poor peasants, but the scions of the greatest houses in the Imperium.
I thought the Magisters had been thrown down by the Chantry.
On the contrary, Andraste never defeated the Imperium. A great army conquered the south, but not the north. The Magisters eventually surrendered to the Chantry, but they did so on their terms. They kept their influence. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Some battles are lost by inches.
You talk about the Magisters as if they are all evil.
I have no doubt that some are good and noble men, strong enough to resist temptation. But how many temptations do you wish to offer a man before he will give in? Blood magic is everywhere in Tevinter, from the lowliest apprentice up to the Archon himself.
You can't have seen this for yourself.
Daenerys talked about it often. Of course, they say it's forbidden. Behind the smiles and closed doors, however, it's a different matter. To be a Magister in Tevinter is to be glorious. To be a powerful Magister in Tevinter, that is worth any price.
You're saying the same thing could happen here?
If the mages were permitted to be their own watchers, of course. It is too easy for a mage to resort to blood magic if they feel the need is great enough.
As easy as it is to resort to a sword. You were created as a living weapon. Should you not be trusted with your freedom?
My powers are not controlled by a demon. A mage can desire power, justice, revenge, protection. Any cause will do, and then they are lost.
You can't say every mage is corrupt.
All I am saying is the Imperium offers no answer. All that Andraste did long ago to end the tyranny of magic has been undone.
She ended the tyranny of magic and replaced it with an entirely new one.
Considering all that magic has done to my homeland and my race, I weep for your predicament. Power corrupts, as they say, and mages have power enough already.
Treating every mage like a criminal isn't the answer.
And not every mage deserves the benefit of the doubt.
And I suppose you decide which ones.
Freedom is a noble ideal, but I see no oppression here. I see fear and danger. But enough. I'm sure we came here for a reason.
More mages. You talk. I'm going to ask the guards about their training.
I know your face. I am Tobias. You and that man are both hawks. I remember your father. Malcolm was a good man.
I found a letter you sent. About a friend of his you could not name.
Ah, the Templar. Your father could not write to him directly, lest the Order find out.
The Templar?
He allowed your father to leave Kirkwall. Rule is not served by caging the best of us. A wise man.
Not what I would expect from a Templar.
There was a time when the rules of the Order could be interpreted to suit a situation. Unlike these days. I will send the letters I held. It seems fitting that they return to family. Such a friendship. Few like your father remain. Even fewer like the Templar. Rest well at the Maker's side, Sir Morivar Carver.